if I don't want to be around my family or be close to them, that's my decision. I'm an adult. I don't need anybody's second degree on it.
I'd rather keep it real with ya.
So, at this point, most of my family, anyone in my family who has directly come after me with regards to me not having a relationship with my mother or my father is blocked. Phone numbers are blocked on social media. Um, and physical therapy and regular trauma therapy, it has been hard. But I have shown improvement. I'm not as depressed. I am not as, stressed out. I am able to start trying to tackle the things that it was just becoming increasingly difficult to tackle because I was actively being triggered by being around the people who either traumatized me, took part in the trauma, or knew about the trauma and decided to invalidate me anyway. So I've been doing a lot better, actually. I've not been depressed. I was able to, go to Mexico and, be brave and have like a good friendship and have a great time and everything. So I can see where I'm definitely getting better mentally by not being around those people. And then something else happened. I got to the point where I was like, wow, yeah, I do think this needs to be a long-term thing. I'm not talking to them because I am going to be better mentally. And we can finally tackle this trauma timeline because it's been 12 months now. I think we spent the first month on one trauma. So I would say 11 months where we were trying to tackle my traumas and my body was physically fighting back. And my chronic pain was acting the fuck up because it just could not deal with the trauma. And so we were doing better, and I was going to start working on tackling. We were going to start working on tackling like what we would call smaller traumas, where we can kind of like reassure me and reassure my body and reassure the inner child of mine that was traumatized that they can be safe and all of that stuff and they can survive these situations. So I was getting to a point where things were going well, and I was just having a casual conversation with my trauma therapist, and we were just talking about some stuff. And I just kind of like mentioned something because I've been working on, physical therapy, working on my chronic pain issues with my pelvic floor and the muscle spasms and the muscles. If you want to know about those issues, you can check out my video on proctalgia fugax and puborectalis syndrome. But we were working on that, and a large part of working on my pelvic floor was also doing like kind of like this inner child work and trying to allow my body to let go because of the fact that with all the trauma I've been through, my core, my pelvic floor says I need to protect you by being as tight as possible all the time and trying to ensure my body that it doesn't need to do that anymore. It can relax now. And I just was thinking about stuff. We're trying to figure out if I had any type of trauma revolving the rectum. That's what every doctor's been asking me the past 2 years. Has somebody, done something to you? As far as I know, no. But, you don't have no memories from a certain age, and my therapists are pretty sure that I've had trauma before the age of 5. So, well, I mean, we know I've had trauma before the age of 5. I don't even know why I was pretty sure. But trying to see if there was other traumas that I had that I just did not remember, because they were trying to figure out, what could be the cause of my body reacting this way. Like, was I assaulted? Was I spanked too much? Was I punished during potty training? Like anything that would cause my body to, react poorly in the pelvic floor area, in the rectum, in the vagina, and all of that. And we just weren't finding nothing. And I was kind of scared that there was something, and I just didn't know about it, which would make me really like nervous and like what could have been done to me. I don't know. And then I was just like casually talking to my trauma therapist one day because she was asking me more about stuff. And I just casually mentioned something because she asked me if I'd ever had trouble going to the bathroom. And she had asked me this question several times, and I was just like, no, it's just like, don't. And then I like casually mentioned a situation, and she gave me this look. And this is my trauma therapist, so you know she got to ask. She gonna tell you what she's looking at you for. My regular therapist is like, well, wait a week because she want to like think about what she gonna say. My trauma therapist will tell you. And so she gives me this look, and I'm like, what? And she's like, you do realize we're gonna have to tackle that, right? And I was like, why? And she was like, that's probably that's probably it. And I was like, that can't be it. That's a totally normal thing that happens to people. And she was like, no. And I was like, wait a minute, ma'am. Like, you telling me that there's another trauma that I have to add to the list? And she was like, yeah. And she's like, and you need to tell your physical therapist about this too. And I told my physical therapist about this situation that seemed so normal in my mind that I never bring it up because it seemed like not a big thing to even bring up to mention to people. And I told my physical therapist, and she was like, oh my God. And I was like, wait, what the fuck? Like, this is a problem? And they're like, we know you don't see it now because you've been gaslit your whole life, but that is a huge issue that we're going to have to tackle. And I was very, very upset because I've been dealing with this since I was 20. I know you see the cats. They're like Morticia's grooming Sadie, and Sadie's trying to sleep. But I've been dealing with this. Okay, stop hitting your sister. Hey, stop that. She's just trying to groom you. Stay here. Stop it. Leave her alone. Sadie, go to bed. Put that paw down. I catch you putting that paw up, it's going to be me and you. Sadie, stop smacking your sister. Stop it. Go to sleep, baby. Can y'all see them? Can y'all see them just fighting over the... What are y'all doing? Stop. Sadie. Put your paw down, baby. Go to sleep. Sadie, put your paw down. Do I have to separate the two of you? Sadie, you have sleep, and you trying to smack her. Stop. Should I angle the camera down a little bit so you can see them a little bit more? Let me angle it down a little bit. Okay, there. And then I move the camera and then they move. Okay. But anyway, well, if they go back there, well enough. But anyway, yeah. And so that really, really messed me up. That really made me upset. I was very, very angry that something that I thought was completely normal and fine turns out to be like a huge trauma that I didn't even know that I had. And it's not even like it was a repressed memory or anything. I clearly remember these things happening to me over and over again, but thinking of it as this is completely normal. And the thing is too, like, the person who did it is like, it was not with ill intent. You know what I mean? It was just something that they probably thought they were helping, but they were hurting. And I thought that was just normal. And it's not. So I got very, very angry. And I was like, if this is the cause of the pain that I've been having for the past 5 to 6 years, because this started around the time I was like 20, I don't think I can ever talk to this person again. I don't think I can ever be around my family again, because the thing about trauma is that trauma may seem, two people can go through the same trauma and one person can be fine and the other person cannot be fine. You know what I mean? And I think a big issue in my family is that people are so quick to invalidate other people's experiences because they themselves have not gone through it. So if, say in my family, someone gets frequently beat, like punched in the face, punched in the gut, slapped around and everything, and their sibling also gets the same treatment, and one sibling goes, this is completely normal, this is how parents parent, this is good, this is great, this is fine, you're not supposed to like punishment, and the other sibling goes, no, I'm traumatized and I am terrified of relationships, I am terrified of that parent, I develop an alcohol addiction to deal with what happened to me. Like that it can literally be just like that. And I think the issue is that I've gone through these traumas that either people in my family might not realize their traumas because it happened to them and they don't want to think of it as a trauma, or they did not experience it, so they're going to say that I'm either lying or blowing it out of proportion. And I don't want to be around people who do that to me. That's not fun. That don't feel good. That makes you hate yourself. That makes you depressed and even suicidal. Yep, I said it. So I was really upset like that. I was like, I want to fight. And I was just like, well, the fuck, man. And it was really upsetting. And then I was casually talking to my therapist again about, like, we were talking about the safety in the bathroom, safety in your bedroom, talking about, any type of traumas that might have happened in those areas that might, cause me to feel unsafe there too. And I just casually mentioned some stuff growing up, and she was like, that's the problem too. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? And she was like, yes, that is a problem. You cannot, you need to understand how that is a problem. And I could not, because in my mind I was like, this is completely normal. What are you talking about? And she literally was like, if you heard about a child who this happened and then this was done with them, what would you think? And I'd be like, oh, I wouldn't think that's okay. And she's like, yeah. And I was like, wait a minute. So now I got another trauma that I didn't even know about that's not on the list that we have to add to the fucking list. And it's like, it's just crazy when you're talking to your therapist and at first y'all just talking and it's cool. And then they have to pull out their notebook and start writing shit. I was like, oh my God, no. No, you telling me there's more traumas? We've only tackled one trauma. We've only healed me from one trauma in this entire year. And I have a list of traumas that I need to heal from. And now I have at least 2 more traumas that I need to throw onto this list. Don't even think about it. And now I have to add to that list. And I'm like, this is some fucking bullshit. Like, it's these traumas, they're not even mine. You know what I mean? Like, these are people in my family who are insecure, who have had stuff happen to them that affected them deeply. These are people who had their own issues, who decided to do things to me to give me issues. And now I got to heal from my issues that was caused by their issues. But if some motherfuckers had just gone to therapy, we wouldn't be having this discussion in the first place. And it's like the entire family has agreed to just be silent. We have agreed to allow cycles of abuse and just have a rule of don't talk about it. And if someone tries to talk about it, shut them down and make them feel like a bad person for talking about it and disrupting the peace of the family. Because at the end of the day, as far as my family's concerned, the peace of the family is what matters most. And that's why good chunks of my family don't even talk to each other anymore, because nobody wants to have those difficult conversations about when someone actually hurt them. And the person who actually hurt them doesn't want to have a conversation to acknowledge the fact that they hurt them. And so now there's people in the family who don't fuck with each other, and can't nobody for the life of them get them to all come together for like a Christmas or Thanksgiving or whatever. The only time they come together probably is going to be for my grandma's birthday when they go to her grave. Probably it. And I ain't mad at them. I am not mad at them, because my family does not want to deal with these issues. They do not want to talk about the real shit that has gone down in this family. And they want to, and it's like, if you don't talk about it and you don't acknowledge it's an issue, you keep perpetuating the same abusive patterns over and over again. So I've even seen, and it hurts me to see the young girls in my family go through these same traumas that I went through, that I'm still trying to work through as an adult. And I'm looking at it knowing, well, it's not like actively happening in front of me, but like I'm hearing about it and I'm sitting there thinking like, damn, she gonna have to be in therapy for this too. She gonna have to be, because our family continues to perpetuate this shit, and we continue to do these things to each other because we don't want to acknowledge what's wrong. And so it's a sick system. It's really sick. And I feel bad for the young girls in my family who are going through this as a result of this family choosing to stay sick, rather than do the messy work of healing, because healing is messy and uncomfortable, and you're going to cry, and you're not going to like yourself. You're going to feel bad about some stuff that you done did, and they don't want to do that work, so they continue to hurt each other. And it's sad to see that happen because I can't just like get all the young girls in my family and have them come live with me and then we all go to therapy every week to deal with the issues now. It's like they're gonna have to go to therapy once they're out the house. And that's sad. Um, but the whole family is sick. And even on my dad's side, the whole family is sick. Two sick families came together and there were no condoms involved. And now I'm here. And and it's like my family members will say, if you ask them, and they're entitled to their own opinions, they're entitled to, their version of reality. They will say, like, this is all her fault. She's choosing to be combative. She's choosing to be, distant. She's choosing to be mad about these things that happened to her. Da, 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 da. I'm choosing to heal. I'm choosing to get better for myself. I don't want to be depressed. I don't want to hate myself. I don't want to constantly be in a state where I don't feel safe. I don't want to constantly be having anxiety. I don't want to constantly be sick. I want to be better, and I'm doing the hard work to be better. And if that offends them, they're just going to have to be offended. I know I kind of talked around stuff. I hope I'm making sense for you guys, because I know some of you definitely do not have relationships with your family. I know some of you have difficult relationships with your parents. And some people may heal and find that they are able to go back around their family and they can set boundaries. Say you don't even think about it. Say it. Say it. Come here. Come here, you. Get over here. I know some people may heal and then they may be able to go around their family, but I think for the purpose of my sanity and my mental health, I shouldn't. I should not walk back into a toxic, dysfunctional family just because of obligation. And I'm doing inner child work, and my inner child is sad, and she's tired, and I keep having these moments of like, man, I do miss my mother. I do miss my father. They're not dead. Some people, their parents are dead. My parents aren't dead. They just aren't parents. Like I saw this thing, I saved it, but I saw it on Facebook and it was like, I miss my mom. She's not dead. She just didn't mom. You know what I mean? And it's the same for me. Like, she didn't mom. My dad didn't dad, and because they didn't, I have all these attachment injuries that I have to heal from. But also, there's the child in me who wants that connection. They want to see their family. They want to have the holiday, that everybody else is having, when you go see your family and you have Christmas and everybody's getting along and you hug and everything's good. And I just don't have that. I wasn't put in a family where I could do that. If the universe wanted me to have a life like that, I would have been born as someone who was capable of destroying herself the way everyone else does. So then I could just drink until I don't feel anymore, and then I can go and be around them. But the problem is, the mother and the father, especially, that I miss, never existed. The mom that the inner child misses is not a mom that I've ever had. The father that I miss is not a father that I've ever had. And so it's like it's this weird grieving process, because it's not that my mom and dad died, it's that the version of them that I needed the most never existed. And it's like I have to let that dream die. And then I have to grieve it. And I'm still grieving it. And I'm, adult me is like coming to the perspective of like, they're never going to be able to love you the way you need them to love you. And that's because they're not capable of it. And you got to stop waiting on them to do it. You got to stop expecting them to wake up one day because you put in enough boundaries, or because, one day they go to therapy and now they're different. You got to stop expecting that to happen. It's not going to happen. It's too easy for them to blame you, their child, for why they can't have a relationship with you. They're not going to do it. They're not going to do the hard work. And so I need to let go the dream that I was ever going to have that type of relationship with my parents or my family. So like, I know I didn't touch on specific stuff because I don't want to get too upset, or I don't want to make this about like a specific trauma. I could literally do 2 videos per trauma. You know what I mean? And it would just be a lot of mess. But I'm still working on this stuff in therapy, so I don't feel like it would be really good to like say all of this stuff and then turn the camera off and then just be sad and cry. But yeah, so Merry Christmas. I think it's just better. It's sad, it's lonely, yes, but it is better for me to be alone on this holiday. And some point in the future, I'll have a chosen family who I can be with on the holidays. But right now, I think it's better for me to be alone on the holidays, you know, with my cats, drink some wine, watch Netflix, watch Hulu, whatever. That, even though it's not super fun, is 100 times better than walking back into a dysfunctional, abusive system just because I want to chase after some love that never really existed, or to chase after a relationship that never really existed. And you see this a lot with people who want to be in romantic relationships. They're chasing after a type of relationship that the person they're with ain't gonna give them. They can't give them. And they think that they can make it happen. You can't make nobody do nothing. You can't make nobody change for you. You can't make nobody go to therapy. Trust me, I tried. You can't make them realize what they've done is wrong. You can't make them change their behavior. You can't make anybody become something else because they are who they are. And if they want to stay that way, they're going to stay that way. And even if they wanted to change, it's not your responsibility to help them change. It's your responsibility to make sure that you yourself are okay and in a healthy mindset. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm focusing on trying to be healthy, trying to like exercise, eat right. You know the shit I always tell you guys. Exercise, eat right, spend time with my cats, do things that I enjoy, love myself, create safe spaces for myself, and tackle these traumas and these attachment injuries that I have, and, you know, enjoy my friendships with people, and maybe in the future have a romantic relationship. I don't know. I'm definitely not going to have any kids, though. I don't think I'll probably be 60 before I'm in a mental space where I could probably raise a child without the risk of doing to them the shit that had been done to me. But yeah, I just think it's better. Like, I really feel like it's better to be alone than it is to be in an abusive relationship. And I know a lot of people wouldn't categorize my relationships as abusive because they're in the similar relationships, or they're the abusive one in the relationship and they don't want to acknowledge that because then it makes them look bad. But healing looks different for everybody. Some people can go to therapy and then have like nice conversations with their family members or their romantic partners and then everything be good. I already tried that shit. It didn't work. Don't nobody want to change. I'm the only one that want to change. So I'm going to change and I'm going to be looking brand new to them and they ain't going to like it. Well, I've been looking brand new to them since I was born, but they ain't going to like it. And that's okay. That's on them. They got to deal with their issues on their own when they're ready to, and if they're never ready to, that's up to them. But I got to deal with my issues and I got to fix myself because I want to be happy, like really happy. I don't want to be, I'm happy because I'm drunk. I'm happy because my boyfriend who beats me finally proposed. I'm happy because I had a kid, so now I feel like I have to be happy. I don't want those happiness because those aren't real happiness. I want the true happiness of like, my spirit is good. Like, I love myself. I love who I am. I love where I am. And I love where I'm going. That's where I'm trying to be. I'm not trying to be in, if I drink enough, I will feel happy. If I take enough pills, I'll make the sadness go away. No, I'm not trying to be on that level. But yeah, I just wanted to share some of my feelings about like why I'm spending holidays alone, why I will spend future holidays alone. I don't know how many holidays it's going to be alone. But I guess as many holidays as I need them to be. I don't at this point plan on re-engaging with my family. It's sad. My niece texted me the other day. I miss her. I love her. But I don't want to pull her in between the shit that's going on with me and the family. I did, she's not blocked or anything. I did text her, I love her and everything. But I don't want to go around my family. I don't want to be around them. I don't want to be around people who be around them. I don't want to be around family friends. I don't want to be around in-laws or step siblings or cousins or anybody who knows my family. I don't want to be around them because I don't want to have to be in another situation where I'm going to just have to justify why I'm not around them. If I don't want to be around my family or be close to them, that's my decision. I'm an adult. I don't need anybody's second degree on it. So that's all I wanted to talk about, you guys. I think it is. I hope it is. Who knows? But yeah, I'm gonna just, enjoy the holidays by myself. My manager actually gave me a Netflix gift card, so she was like, "I heard you didn't have Netflix, so here's a gift card." So I'm gonna finally get to watch Squid Game and Alice in the Borderland. The shows I've been trying to watch, and then whatever else is on there. Probably some good stuff because I got my VPN. I need to finish the Ju-On show, even though it's trash. I want to finish it. So I got stuff that I'm gonna be doing while I'm on my break and enjoying my break. I'm still gonna be sad, but I'm choosing long-term happiness over short-term. I don't know what you call it. In the long term, I will be happier. In the short term, I'm gonna be sad because it's an adjustment phase. But I'd rather be short-term sad and long-term happy than short-term happy, which would be all of like 5 minutes before I realize the mistake I made, and then be very upset, triggered, and depressed for the next several months because I decided to put myself in a bad situation just for some love that wasn't there to begin with. I'm choosing to do this because I know empirically, as an adult, with the research I've done, with the discussions I've had with all of my doctors, that it is what is best for me, my mental and my physical health. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm putting myself first. Yeah, I'm being selfish. Sue me. And I hope that you guys are putting yourself first. I hope that you guys understand if you don't currently live with your family, you are not obligated to be around them. You are not obligated to put everything to the side so that you can have a good holiday or whatever. Sometimes it is better just to be alone, and it's okay. Sometimes it's just better for you, and it doesn't seem like it at the moment because you want to be around people, you want to be held, you want to have social interaction. You can do that with your friends. Reach out to your social support system and talk to people. Put in the comments how you feel about all of this, and just take care of yourself. Put yourself first. Be selfish. Like, listen to your inner child. Listen to your brain. Listen to your body. Because 9 times out of 10, they're telling you shit, and you're just not listening to them. And if you don't, they're gonna shut shit down. So listen to them. If you need to be alone, then you need to be alone. That's what you need to be better. That's what you need to heal. And you don't need to justify that to literally anyone. You don't even need to justify it to your therapist if you don't want to. You don't need to justify it to your friends or your family or anybody because you know what's best for you. So I hope you guys are choosing yourself on Christmas and New Year's. I hope you guys are choosing to be mentally healthy and take care of yourself and love yourself the way you deserve it. And I'm going to do the same. And I'll, keep checking in with you guys to let you know how I'm doing on my journey to healing from all of this fucking trauma that some of which isn't even mine to hold, but I'm holding it for someone else and trying to put shit down. Drink your water, take your naps, love on yourself, be kind to yourself because you deserve it. And I will see you in the next video to talk about another topic. Who the fuck knows what it's going to be about. But as long as you're here and I'm here, we're going to talk to each other. So share some of your feelings in the comments. Share your experiences. Tell me what you're doing for Christmas in the comment section. I love you guys. Bye.